Hey everyone. Today's story is not just about a land dispute. It's about power, entitlement, and one woman's strength. This is the story of how my wife, a retired U.S. Army captain, stood up to a manipulative HOA president, aka Karen, who tried to steal her land by calling 911. What happened next? Let's just say karma showed up in uniform. Last year, my wife inherited a beautiful piece of land near a river in Florida from her late uncle. It wasn't huge, but it was peaceful, scenic, and meant everything to her. She dreamed of building a small cabin retreat for military veterans struggling with PTSD, something calm, healing, and private. The area was right next to a gated community called Riverside Villas, and that's where Karen comes in. President of the local HOA, even though her position was mostly unofficial. She believed the river view belonged to the villas, and anyone outside their HOA was ruining the value. She showed up the first day we began clearing weeds from the land. No hello. Just excuse me, what exactly are you doing on this land? My wife, calm as ever, said, "This is our land, we're prepping it for a retreat." Karen scoffed. "That's not going to happen, that's our view." Over the next few days, Karen started showing up daily, one time with a fake permit, saying we were violating HOA rules. Another time she brought her husband, who awkwardly apologized on her behalf. Karen began threatening to sue. She even started harassing our contractor, telling him she'd get his license revoked if he worked on our land. But the worst part? She sent a letter offering to buy the land for less than half the market price, claiming it was in everyone's best interest. Alone reviewing plans with the architect, Karen called 911. She falsely reported a suspicious woman trespassing on private HOA property and threatening residents. Absolutely false. 2 police cars pulled up. My wife, a black woman in camo pants and boots, was calm, composed, and totally in her right. The moment the officer asked for ID, she pulled out her army ID and land deed. When the officer looked down and read her ID, he paused and looked at Karen. "Ma'am, did you say this woman was trespassing? Because she owns this land and is a captain in the U.S. Army." Karen went ghost white. The officer turned to her and said, "False reports to 911 are a crime." That was the moment her mask cracked. No more attitude, no more HOA pride, just pure panic. Karen was warned and let off with a warning that day. But word spread. Turns out she had bullied multiple neighbors before, pushed one into selling, threatened another with code violations. 3 other residents came forward. One even joined us in filing a formal complaint. Within a month, Karen was removed from her unofficial HOA position and is currently under civil investigation. Construction on the retreat began a few weeks later. Karen never came back. We installed a beautiful sign at the entrance. "Veterans welcome, peace is sacred here." We've since hosted 3 small retreats for former service members. Bonfires, quiet time, healing, everything my wife envisioned. Karen thought she could scare us off with entitlement, police, and lies. But my wife stood strong. She didn't yell, she didn't fight. She just showed up, with truth, calm, and her rank. To anyone dealing with an HOA bully, stand your ground, know your rights, and don't let a Karen control your dream. If you enjoyed this story, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's had HOA drama. Trust me, they'll feel this.